for finding people to help you innovate your products, help you to implement innovations and technologies, particularly for those businesses that are on a budget, those businesses that are perhaps small and medium and growing in terms of ideas and want some assistance in making innovation happen. And that is the wheelhouse for Dr. Ghosh and FYELABS. Let me tell you a little bit about his background. Our guest today, Subhojit Ghosh, Jeet, is the founder and managing director of FYELABS. Jeet won several accolades for creating, architecting FYELABS' pioneering industry-university collaboration model. So that is the heart of the success that he has had with FYELABS, that relationship between practical innovation implementation between industry and the university. He has won the McMaster President's Award, which is the highest honor bestowed by the university. He's an accomplished entrepreneur, a scientist, self-proclaimed jack of all trades, and best known for his practical ingenuity. Prior to FYELABS, Ghosh founded its first iteration called Circ at McMaster. Previously, he also founded NanoSpin, a nanomaterials-powered digital infrastructure company during his years as a graduate student at Virginia Tech. He also played a key role in founding the team of Sinos, a Hamilton-based modular data center company. He hails from Kolkata, India, and immigrated to Canada in 2014 by way of the US. Welcome, Jeet. So happy to see you here. Been looking forward to our conversation.
Well, thank you so much, Todd. That's a very, very kind introduction. Humbled.
You come highly referred. I'm fortunate from the platform of the position that I have here with the Brampton Board of Trade that I get to meet a lot of really interesting people. And you were referred to me by Joanne Rapozio at Benpro, and I understand you helped that company to work through what was needed for one of their critical infrastructure HVAC products. And she said, Todd, you've got to get to know Dr. Ghosh. He's really got something good happening through FYELABS. So let me contextualize the problem. A lot of businesses know they have to innovate to keep their competitive advantage. We did a survey, a business confidence survey of Brampton business people. A lot of manufacturers responded. And when we asked them, do you know what technologies you need to automate your production system to get to the next level? And about 53% of them said that they did. When we asked, do you know where to find financing? About 55% of them said yes. When it came to finding the personnel, 64% said, yeah, we know where to find them, but still a lot of innovation doesn't happen. Ideas stay in that stage, and it's difficult to get started. It's difficult to get full implementation. When we asked them what their top barrier to innovation was, it was about more than half said it was their budget. So that's where FYELABS can come in. They have access to personnel that can assist. They're knowledgeable of technologies. They have really solid project management. They get stuff done, and they do it at a very affordable rate comparatively. If you looked at other innovation, contracting out innovation, you'd be looking at pricing that's 15 times more if you did it with some of the big firms here in Canada, North America, or 5 times more if you looked at implementation strategies offshore. So I've really been looking forward to our conversation here, and I wanted to provide that context so people know why it's important, the topic that we're going to discuss today. And why don't I just start off at the top, Jeet? When companies are looking at a new product, what should they take a look at? What are the ingredients for a successful new product, or revamp for that matter?
Yep. To get to build a new product, you need 2 key ingredients. One is that you really need to know what the customer need is. Like, otherwise, how is it going to sell, and how are you going to get revenues out of it? And the second thing is you need to know how to create that product, whether it's in-house, outsourcing, but create it at a cost that makes sense so that it can be scaled. It can be basically delivered at scale to generate revenues for you. Uh, so going from that, most of our client base right now, they have a very good understanding of who the customer is, what their needs are, but they really struggle trying to figure out how to develop that product, especially at a cost or a price point that really makes sense. And that's where we come in as FYELABS. We take, how you were saying, there's lots of good ideas floating around, but how do we take them into reality? Our motto, if you will, unofficial motto is like, the one-stop shop to realize all your product development dreams. So we literally take an idea into a product, like a selling product, in a matter of weeks.
Yeah, so that is extremely valuable and a great connection to have. I'm so happy that you're able to spend some time with us today. There is a lot of innovation. There are a lot of great ideas, a lot of idea generators in our membership, in our business community, but confidence sometimes stops good ideas from being implemented. People might think, well, we'll leave the innovation of new products to the larger companies. How does what you offer, how does that help a small or medium business take on the big Goliath competitors in their market? How can they realistically compete, or how can you help them compete?
So, one of the things that comes with developing a product is you need to have, like, each product requires different types of skill sets. Maybe say, for a matter of for the sake of an example, let's say a product requires 6 different skill sets. It's very difficult for a small company to be able to afford to hire a cross-functional team that has 6 individual members. That's a big commitment to have. Large companies don't shy away from this. They have an R&D budget set aside that keeps them moving forward. They have R&D teams, sometimes a vice president or a chief technology officer per se. Small companies can't afford to do that. So what do they do when they can't afford their own teams? They can either outsource or, well, not do it at all. So they can, right? But the problem in the outsourcing industry right now is the outsourcing world is very focused on large enterprise, and therefore their price point is suited for large enterprise. And this is because they're very focused on developing a polished product that from day one would do 17 different things. When you're starting out with a new product, especially for a small company, you need what we call a minimum viable product, something that's good enough to sell, and that's it. That's where we specialize. This was a type of service that is very difficult to find. We realized when we started out. So creating a no frills, ultra low cost model to deliver something that's just enough so that you can start selling. And then as you grow, you start making the product better and prettier and faster and whatnot. But like, you don't need to spend millions of dollars before you go out the front door. If you think about large companies, that's what they do though. They spend tens, hundreds of millions of dollars to develop
refining, polishing, beta testing, et cetera, where that can be a significant and intimidating barrier for smaller companies. So you help with procrastination, you help with execution, you help get people started, which is so important in implementing or developing a new innovative idea. Yeah, very good. But break it down for us. So how does FYELABS operate? If I had an idea, what's my first step?
So first step would be to go on our website or call me or one of my colleagues. So if you go on our website, you'll see a big red button that says build me a product.
Okay, that's at FYELABS.com, FYELABS.com. Please continue.
That is correct. So you go there, fill out very rudimentary details. Me or one of my colleagues would reach out to you within a day to set up a call. In that, the first call is what we call a triage meeting. So we're gonna, in the span of an hour, figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish, figure out other peripheral constraints that you might have, figure out what kind of budget point you're looking for, also get a good understanding of who your customer is. And then we usually are able to, within 2 or 3 days after that, come back to you with a proposal saying, here's what we think would lead to the product that you're trying to develop. Sometimes we phase it out to de-risk the project. So phase 1 would be just a proof of concept, which is done in a week or 2. Then phase 2, as you see it grow, you do phase 2 would be more of a prototype. Phase 3 would be a minimum viable product. But in most instances, we're able to take companies. So once they see the proposal, we'll probably have another meeting to do a little bit of a refining. And we have a service level commitment to start a project the moment you sign the contract within 2 weeks of that. So from that point, within, say, depends on the product complexity, somewhere between 2 to 6, 8 weeks, you are ready to go to market, as long as what you say was accurate.
That is really quick.
Yep.
Congratulations. No, that's fantastic. When business people have ideas, there's not, I find that there's no real dilly-dallying, and there may be some hesitation in reaching out to the academic community, but you're not purely an academic institution. Tell us more about what, that turnaround time is impressive. Tell us a little bit more about what makes FYELABS unique. Who do you have working for you that can turn around a project in 4 to 6 weeks?
Right. So, when you bring up academic institutions, typically there's a large number of very, very competent academic institutions in Ontario, in Canada, and in our neighborhood. But when a company works with them, you're working with the faculty members, students, they have their specific timeline. So it's a very slow process sometimes. Well, slow in the context of small and medium business, because when you're an SME, you kind of need to go to market in 2 months or the problem's irrelevant. Right. So what we did when we started FYELABS was we realized that there has to be a core team whose primary job is to deliver on these projects. So right now our core in-house team is about 30 something people. Their job is not to teach, not to do research, not to go to school. Their job is to do product development. And so leading at the leadership of this team is about 3 people who are senior product development experts. They come from the industry, not from academia. They have developed several products before they came here. So they know how to put various pieces of the puzzle into one complete products, if you will. So that drives us. And then where we have a unique advantage is because we're a part of a university, oftentimes while in the course of developing a product, we realize we need a specific piece of knowledge or the use of a specific physical asset like a lab. And that's when we go and find that within the university or sometimes outside in other universities and put that as a part of the package to deliver the product. These are assets like, the knowledge assets or the physical assets of the labs I'm talking about. These always existed at academic institutions, but they were not very accessible to businesses because universities' primary mission, let's face it, is to educate people. And they have a second mission, which is to do research. Now, what we have done through FYELABS is we have basically created a storefront to access all of those resources.
That's a really good analogy. A storefront that when you enter, you're dealing with dedicated project management people that are not disturbed or distracted by teaching, by research, but their focus, as you say, you've got 30 folks that are there to get the job done for the client that walks in. The individuals that you have, you said, are not just academic, but these are industry personnel. That's a very unique quality as well. People that understand the time value of money and the speed at which innovation must occur. And thirdly, you recall, you mentioned that your connection with the university is very important for access to labs for testing. Well, that's great. Now, talk to me about the products, how do you bill? Is it open source? Any protections required? Tell me a little bit about that.
So a bulk of the products we develop is based on a lot of open source building blocks. We live in a world today where a lot of the things that you need to make a product is available open source. So we have over time become experts in leveraging that ecosystem and packaging them together into a product. Now, that being said, although we are a university, the IP, if there is any IP from a project, belongs outright to the client. So they get to use it in any way they form. This is kind of a revolution in the industry world, university world, because typically universities worked in a realm where there was licensing arrangements and other kinds of like complicated relationships that had to be negotiated each time. Using this open source is people often think, oh, if it's open source, everybody else is doing it. But if you look at the real world today, most products out there are exactly that. Uh, like I put out a number saying 90% open source, 10% customization. That's a very blanket statement, but that is the reality of what we do today. Like there's these building blocks, digital or circuit board designs or this or that. They're all available out in the open source. We use them, we contribute to them, as does the competent R&D teams of many large organizations as well.
This is a very attractive value proposition, Jeet. Dedicated project team, industry personnel, university links if labs needed. You're leveraging open source. The client can keep the intellectual property. It's a low frills, fast, low cost product. Does that work for just certain products? Do you have an ideal product that you like, or is there a does FYELABS have a specialization?
No, that's I get asked this question like almost twice a day. The answer is yes and no. So we can tackle a very broad range of products because quite literally we have the entire university in our backyard. We have very high knowledge diversity, so to speak. We can, I joke about this. We can find an expert in almost everything, which is not technically true, right? But at the same time, the kind of products we develop, they are not like if you are going to build a new rocket that goes to Mars to put a fusion reactor there, that's not us. We're kind of in the realm of developing a product for you that would be going to market in 2 months, 6 months kind of time frame. So not something that's going to revolutionize the world, because that is you're best suited having your own team, and that's not going to be the tens of thousands of dollars. You'd probably have to spend tens of billions of dollars to do something like that.
Right. Right. So you're really looking for practical solutions, getting people started, and with horizons that are quite tight within a couple of months.
Yep.
Well, that's good. That's why I've heard people describe you as lightning fast product development. So that's a nice moniker to have. That's for sure. Wow. Well, that's really, really good, Jeet. Is there anything else that you think prospective viewers may want to know about FYELABS, why they would want to call FYELABS? Any thoughts there?
Yeah, well, so one of the things I would encourage everybody watching this to do is, especially if you're at the helm of a small and medium, an ambitious small and medium business, is go on our website. You'd see a little bit like in this line of work, we're not allowed to talk about a lot of our projects because of confidentiality reasons. But what you would see is tons and tons of client testimonial videos of companies we have worked for. All of these are your peers. They're small companies in 20 people, 50 people, 500 people. Ambitious companies nonetheless. They want to take over the world, as does everybody. And they describe their experience on how they came to hear about FYELABS, what we did for them, how fast we did that, how what price points we did that, and how that changed their world. So we have had to this day we have served I think around 40 something, so 45-ish customers, mostly from Canada and the US, but we've had Also customers from the Middle East, for instance, a couple of them from Taiwan was one. Chances are, like if you're watching this over a cable broadband network right now in Southern Ontario, your modem's most likely running software that was developed by FYELABS for a company that manufactures these modems. So that's our reach, but at the same time, we are not very well known. You're probably chances are you've never heard of us, and that's because we're not that old. The FYELABS name itself was launched in May, so what's it, October now? So what, 5 months, 4 months ago, and the whole operation started in July 2018 in a very pilot scale. So we're very, very new. So if you want to learn more, I would really, really encourage you to go to our website. There's also a big red button that books a call with me. I would love to talk to you and tell you more about what we do and explore ways we can help you. And also, more importantly, actually, I would love to learn from you on what we can do better to help SMEs shine and take on the giants of the world.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. I want to remind everybody that you can find that big red button at FYELABS.com. That's FYELABS.com. Well, thank you so much for this conversation, Jeet. For our viewers, again, if you'd like to see a recording of it or any of our expert series, you can find it at bramptonbot.com/expert series. For those of you that are working on innovative products, be sure to mark 8 a.m. on November 24th to attend our Brampton Innovation Network. That's when a number of manufacturers get together to talk about Industry 4.0 implementation. That's on the 24th of November, the Brampton Innovation Network at 8 a.m. Later this month, next week, we have our trade network, our international and interprovincial trade network. That's an 8 a.m. Meeting on the 29th of October. Connect Work happens. That's another wonderful network of leading Brampton business women. That's November 11th, and that's a 9 o'clock start. Our Prosperity Network is on the 12th. Our Goods Movement Network is on the 17th. And our Next Gen Young Entrepreneurs Professional, that network is on November 23rd. For those of you that are in marketing communications, November 26th at 8 a.m. is our business development network with a focus on marketing and communications. Every Monday or Wednesday, you can pop in to the Board of Trade to talk about some opportunities that you want to capture, some challenges you want to overcome. It's called Open Door Discussions, ODD. Staff have named it Odd with Todd. But actually, we just get to know your business a little bit better. And if we can help open doors for you, find suppliers, find customers, find people that can help you generate new ideas and implement new ideas for your business, we look forward to doing that. So real candid conversations with other Brampton business leaders. I think the next one is, well, check out, what is it? It's bramptonbot.com/open-door-discussions. I think it's in the chat room. Okay, well, Jeet, thank you so much for joining us today. Anything further that you'd like to leave us with?
Nope, I think I covered them all. Thank you so much, Todd. I really, really had fun talking today. And anything I can ever do for Brampton Board of Trade or if any of your members, you know where to find me.
Yes, I do. And expect some referrals from us. We look forward to learning more and helping you find satisfied customers for FYELABS services. So thank you so much. We'll talk again real soon. Take care.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye now.